I got a little scare. Someone in my family, they went down, they had to be hospitalized, and I was in
Oh,
contact with them. So I quarantined
yeah,
for the 14 days,
yeah.
and I there was a point where I was like, I don't smell nothing, and the taste got a little. I was
Yeah,
like, damn, because I cook, right? So I made a pot of curry, and I
yeah,
was like, damn, now I know I could taste my curry. And I was
yeah.
like, oh, okay, maybe I am. So I had some symptoms, but grace of God, man, I didn't have to be hospitalized. No temperatures, no problems breathing. It's when
Well,
I
that's
just
good.
quarantine. Yeah.
But you did you tested, you got it, and you just got it minor.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, you
Yeah.
got lucky. It's fucking crazy, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I consider myself blessed today, man. One, I got good genes. I came from really good genes physically, and over the summer, man, like you spoke about with everybody else ain't doing nothing, so I had to find something to do because nothing for me is not an option. I don't mind double workshop. I'm that
Sure.
dude.
Yeah.
So I found physical fitness this summer, but not for the sake of muscles. I got real familiar with cardio and
Yeah.
calisthenics and stretching and
Yeah.
breathing, simple shit. And I truly believe, man, that because I put that as in my program and my daily routine, that it gave me a leg to stand on to fight that motherfucker back a little bit. That shit, and it didn't knock me down. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
no doctor. That's just my little take on it. That's what I chose to believe, that we are so conditioned to run from this thing that I think sometimes we need to also remember that we have everything in our bodies to kind of to at least arm it to fight back. Like, we got a gun in our body. It's called an immune system. If we put
Yeah.
some bullets in that motherfucker, we
Yeah.
might just slay the giant. We don't
Yeah.
know until we fight back. So that's where I'm at with it. Hold
Yeah.
on 1 second. Don't hang on. Hold on 1 second.
I'm not gonna hang up.
I had my little lunch on the stove, and I smelled this. Let me turn this shit off. All right, so
Oh,
what's up, man? Talk to me,
hey.
Mark.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've been doing that too. Do you meditate?
Yeah, yeah,
You
not as
do.
much as I used to. I'm one of those people like, damn, meditating is so hard. I'm like, damn, Mike, you mean sitting down, not saying shit, turning up your brain, closing your eyes? That's hard? Like, really? Like,
You got to do it first thing. It's only hard if you've been doing other shit. If you had a bunch of coffee, you've already eaten. You know what I
I don't
mean?
drink coffee. Yeah, yeah.
Well, whatever. You've already on the computer, and then all of a sudden, I got to sit down and shut it off. Right when you get out of bed, just do it. That's what I've been doing. I just started a couple months ago.
You know what? I received that, brother. Thank you. That's the trick, because
Yeah,
I wait till by the time I remember to do it, I've already done a few things in the morning,
yeah.
and
Your brain's on
once
fire.
yeah, it can't. It's yeah. That's what the trick. Do it first thing in the morning before my feet even leave the bed.
Right. I got the mat on the floor. I got, like I just see it on the floor, and I get up and I do yoga a little bit, and then I sit with the guy, the English guy on the app, the Headspace app, and he talks me through it. He's annoying, but talks me through it.
You know what? I'm gonna take that suggestion, bro. I'm like, the next time I see you, I'm gonna be like, thank you. And this is what I've been. You gave me two things. One, do it first thing in the morning. And I got a yoga mat here that I never use. But if I lay it out in my room, in my
Yeah,
bedroom by my bed, and if I see it, it'll jar my memory.
yeah.
That's a great idea, man. I'm gonna try that shit, bro.
Yeah,
Thank you.
just get up and do it. Like I also, I'm a big fan, and I watched the new movie, The Body Brokers, and
Thank you.
look, I'm a sober dude, and I know that world a little bit, and then as it reveals itself, it's sort of like it's insane and heartbreaking and informative. I really liked the movie, and I thought that you did a great job with it, man.
Oh man, thank you. And first of all, this was a passion project for me, because I share your story. I'm in the club as well too.
Really, yeah.
And yeah, yes sir, yes sir. Anybody that's heard me speak before, I'm not shy about it. Relapse is a part
Me
of my
neither.
my
Yeah.
story, and but I'm living good today. I guess all we got is today. But this film, you know, jails, drugs, jails, institutions death, right?
Yeah, right.
So yeah, I've had my fair share of institutions. Thank God I haven't gone to jail yet, and obviously I'm still here, but I've had my fair share with institutions. And I feel what you said was this film, the narrative of this film was extremely disturbing, extremely disturbing. And I was like, I did almost like, well, like, what do we do with that? Like, are you kidding me?
So when you first read the script by John Swab, is that his name?
Yeah, John Swab, man, great guy. Right, he's the writer and the director.
Yeah, because I know guys that work in that industry, but my buddy Mike, he came over yesterday to talk a little bit because I told him about the movie, and he's like, when he works in rehabs, and he had to quit 2 jobs, because they were corrupt and he didn't feel comfortable, right?
Yes,
so my thing was, when you read that script as a sober guy, you must have realized, like, I got to do this. People have to know this, right? But then the character, too, like that character, he's not only a guy who's not quite sober and playing that part, but it's a movie about people rationalizing, compartmentalizing things that makes them kind of evil, right?
Yes. You hit it right on the head. As you and I, we both know, being sober doesn't take away the craziness. There's a lot of crazy motherfuckers in this program, me included. Right?
I call them demons in exile.
There you go. You know what I'm saying? And to me, Wood was a perfect example of that.
Yeah. Right. Like I'm sober, but I can still do cocaine.
I'm sober, but I can still, use people.
Right.
I'm selling drugs.
Yeah.
That was even more profound, because for me, this film, it spoke about the insanity. And like people think that, or I assume that sometimes people think that drugs are the problem. Drugs are the symptom of the problem. Once we put the drugs down, that's when the work begins. We got to clean up this house, all this garbage, right? Yeah. And so, because it manifests in other ways in our life, poor decision making, and poor characteristic traits, right? And so, Wood was a perfect example and an opportunity for me to show that side of what a recovering addict looks like. It's not all roses and once you put the drug down, it's happily ever after and life is going to be great. No, there's a lot of stinking thinking that we need to get rid of and bad habits and bad thought processes. And Wood is an example of that. But I'll tell you, the redeeming moment for me with Wood
in the car,
when the car scene, and when he apologized. He made amends, man, and that was that redeeming quality in him that made me fall in love with the character on a whole nother level.
That acting to where, you drop into the heart of that guy that's actually tormented and not the guy that justifies his behavior. That was a great turn there. And you could feel like those choices, man.
Man, and I just want to take this time to also say, I wasn't in that scene alone, obviously. Man, I just got to tell you, Jack Kilmer, what he brought, the honesty, the vulnerability that he brought to that character, man. Yeah. Him and Alice, they are like, I'm obsessed with them. I can't take my eyes off of them, man, in this film. But what Jack brought in that scene in that car, that level of loyalty that he had, that the way he looked up, he brought so much to the dynamic, man. I couldn't have reached where I needed to be had it not been for what he brought to the table.
That's interesting. It was, he was great. And it was definitely that contrast of like, that moment where he says like, people have been talking to me like that my whole life, and you realize.
Come on, bro. Validation. He saw Wood. It was like, that was like a meeting in the car right there.
Right.
Man, that scene it meant a lot to me. And he brought so much to it, bro. Him as with his instrument, he brought so much to the character. He made it very easy for me. Yeah. Very easy. Yeah, man.
Well, I got a question because I get asked it too. Because when I did the show Glow, my character does blow, And I've been sober, 22 years, something. And people always ask me, like, was that hard? And I'm like, I don't know. I didn't even think about it. What was it like for you to be around drugs?
In the film, Body Brokers, ironically, Wood didn't trigger me because of the decision that I made as to where he was in his recovery when he was sniffing that coke at that pool party.
Yeah.
I'll tell you who did trip me the fuck up was Freddie Knight on the night of, when he was sniffing dope and the reasons why, the escapism. That was very familiar to my journey, to my struggle with this disease, man.
Oh, when you were in jail?
Yeah, it's called The Night Of, and
I saw it.
His name was Freddie. Yeah. Freddie Knight triggered the hell out of me, man. He woke up, he was rubbing that genie bottle like a motherfucker. I was like, no, get back in. Yeah, I don't know, Wood that night, I believed Wood when he said, man, yeah, it was more about, the chicks being in the moment. I don't think that he was in a relapsed state of mind, although, technically he did get high. Right. I don't think that it was that. I think he was just in the moment, and because he said it, the chicks, these dumb chicks bought this shit over here, blah, 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 whatever. Right. Freddie was in a different space. That I don't know how to do drugs recreation and just for the moment. I know how to I know how to numb the pain.
He did it to cope.
Cope. That's what I did it for, and that tripped me up.
Right, man. So, like, when did you start? Where do you think it started with you? Where'd you grow up?
Oh, I grew up in Brooklyn, man. I grew up in East Flatbush, Brooklyn, in a little project called the Vanderveer Estates, and like I said, it ain't about the drug. The drug is a symptom of the problem. But I started coping very early, and I became an actor very early. I would say by the age 9, I was completely addicted to fantasy. Like, nothing about my life did I want, So,
how did that manifest itself? Like, what kind of fantasy what were you into?
I mean, being something I wasn't. Yeah. Like, for instance, my community, is a West Indian Caribbean community, heavily. That that's we call the Nostrand Avenue, Little Haiti.
Is that where your folks are from?
No, my mother's from the Bahamas, actually.
Oh, okay.
And my father is from the South, which is, so you had half of the community that was West Indian Caribbean, and then you had the other half that was Black American. Yeah. And there was a clash of cultures, like in the mid to late 70s to the 80s, and you had to pick one. You were either a lazy welfare recipient Yankee, or you were a high water wearing, banana boat driving coconut. Yeah, those were your options. And my mother being from the Caribbean and my father being from the South, and me having a huge need to fit in, right, and this low self-esteem, I started I lost my identity very quickly, very young, trying to fit in, to be liked, to be accepted, to go under the radar, so nobody would. I didn't want to ever be singled out, and so the disconnect from getting to know who Michael was, that started at a very early age, and the ability to chameleon myself, to fit whatever I thought you needed to see to get in with you. That also started very early. So that's what I mean when I say I got addicted to fantasy very quick.
Well, you get addicted to, like, I have that problem too. Like, by the end of this conversation, I'll probably be talking exactly like you. I just have that thing where I feel like I'm a whole person, but when I get around stronger personalities, you just kind of like, I'll just live in that guy's skin for a while.
Welcome to my, and of course I became an actor, right? Like, great job for someone like me. But I nearly, drove myself crazy, man. But again, Wood was an opportunity to explore all those different things, Because I believe in some form of fashion, we're all addicts. You know.
Yeah, it's the economy of this country is built on it.
Thank you.
It requires
Thank you.
us.